So on my last video, Crink FPV commented that I should do like a trick series, and he mentioned something about my 3 most gratifying tricks. Well, I don't really know what's the most 3 gratifying, but I thought it was an interesting question, so maybe we'll talk about that today. So the ultimate goal is really to be able to just flow all the tricks in together, but I usually will have a couple that I'm kind of working on, and I do a lot of that, and I neglect other ones. And then I do other tricks, but I'm neglecting the ones that I was working on, so I'm kind of always working on a few. I don't know if I really have like 3 to talk about, but lately I've been doing a lot of inverted YawSpin, so we'll just talk about that a bit. So instead of having 3 different tricks, we'll do 3 different variations of the same thing, because I think that's important too, knowing any trick that you can do a million variations on it, come up with new tricks and new ways to do it. So I'll show you a couple different ways that I utilize the inverted YawSpin, or as Charpu would say, the inverted YawSpin. YawSpin. Spin.
It's like one of those tricks, sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't.
It's important to catch it at the right spot, that's the whole key. I think ideally you would want to mix like cross coordinate and mix your yaw and roll together. But that's kind of tricky to get right, so my secret is I catch the right point in the horizon where I know that if I give it yaw only, it'll still look pretty cool. Might not be perfectly round, but it's a lot easier to do. So I'm sure you noticed, Pete, that one time the other day when you were trying to do it, your problem was you were kind of looking way too much straight down at the ground.
Yeah.
So when you did a yaw, it wasn't like...
I did like
you almost did a roll instead, it looked like. You want to be able to see a little bit more ground than sky. I'll demonstrate some. Okay, got my bra on here. Hold up my boobies to show you guys the sticks. So the first variation I'm going to do is like an alternative way to do a split S. So instead of rolling and then pitching back to come out underneath, I'm going to do a half a front flip and yaw my way around and then come down. So let's do that. So this one is the most basic of the variations. Pretty simple, you just push forward, half a yaw as you carry your momentum. The way that you push forward like that kind of helps you to carry your momentum, because you're pitching forward and giving it throttle at the same time. And then as soon as you get upside down, you're going to chop the throttle, you're going to yaw until you come around facing the object again, and then just pull back. There, hopefully you got a good idea what I was talking about with that. Half a front flip, yaw, come back around. The next one I'd like to show you, as made famous by Greg Phillips, aka Overflow, is the power loop YawSpin, finish the power loop. So my trick for that one is just catching the horizon at the right point. So you just have to do it a bunch of times so you figure it out, because if you do it too early or too late, it's not like a nice spin around the axis, it's like it's wobbled. So you're gonna get a bunch of sky and then a bunch of ground. If you do it just right, it should be you'll see mostly just ground spinning. And then it's just practice and getting a feel for when you're back around to the point where you started to finish the loop. So let's do some of those, huh? There's not really any tricks to it. You just gotta practice it and keep doing it. That's the only way around it. So that's what we're gonna do. I probably won't get it in the first try. It might take me a couple, but we'll get a good one. So the biggest thing I noticed when I was looking through this power loop YawSpin footage, I give it a lot more roll than I realize. In my mind, I don't even think about the roll. I just think that I'm only giving it yaw, but if you look, I'm giving it quite a bit of roll every time. So yeah, I must have just kind of trained myself to do it without even thinking about it, so you're gonna have to work on that. Some of these I ended up way further back than I would like. So it doesn't really take that much throttle to get over something this size. I was going full throttle, and you really don't need to. Like 3/4 on this one. The tighter you hug the wall or the tree or whatever you're doing, the better it's going to look. Yeah, take a look at how much roll I'm giving it. A fair amount. I'm going about halfway in on the stick with the roll. And you just catching the right timing so that you shoot back through the gap again. This is just an example of throwing a power loop YawSpin into a line. So if you practice them a lot individually over and over again, it becomes easier just to bust it out in the middle of flying anytime you want. No battery left. Wow, that one went from 13 to 8 in like a split second. This last variation I'm going to show you is a little trick I've been working on. It's like a combo kind of deal where you kind of go into a backwards turn, and then in the middle of it you flip over and then you do your inverted YawSpin. What makes this look right, and this applies to everything else I showed you too, whichever way that you prefer to yaw when you're upright, use the opposite when you're inverted. So I prefer left yaw. It just flows better. So if you're doing left when you're upright, when you're inverted, right will be in general going the same way. And this is highly debated. I've had arguments about this, but just trust me on it. So, and you'll see in the video, like, it'll make sense. Like if you were looking at it third person and you didn't know if it was upright or inverted, you would think it's going the same way, but it's opposite. So I always prefer left yaw and left roll, so anytime I do inverted YawSpin, it's always right yaw. So here's the third little combo move. Alright, let's do it. So I hope this is making sense why you want to go from left yaw to right yaw. You can just see how that flows together better. Like maybe if going the other way would be a different move, maybe that would look cool too. But for what I'm trying to do, you want to go left yaw, once it turns over, right yaw, and then left roll to come out of it. And it'll just, everything will look fluid that way. Does that make sense?
Signal low.
And then here's an example of doing it in a line. Throttle up, left yaw, right yaw, throttle down, left roll, pull out, keep going.
Woo! God damn, you're good at that.
Better bring this in before this battery dies up. That's it. That's the end of the video. I hope you learned something today. If you got any suggestions for what I should talk about next, what other kind of tricks you want my insight on, let me know in the comments below. Any other things I missed about inverted jaw spins, comments below. So you guys have a good day. I'm going to continue to rip the bando. Maybe I'll give you some more stick cam to play with. Peter, go sub to FPV's channel. He's killing it. Pete got good really fast.
See you later.
Yeah, I noticed. about now, Pete? Had to try.
I know.